For Team 1's presentation today, we were hoping to recreate the experiments of Franklin et al. 2010 with a group of lab rats. Unfortunately, the first generation of rats broke free of their confines and started a rat commune in the basement of the psych building, so we were unable to carry out this task. Instead, we recreated the experiments with a different group of creatures. A group of creatures perfect for experimentation, and ones, thankfully, with genetics very similar to lab rats. This is a story of Franklin et al. 2010, as told using The Sims 3. This is Nancy Heatherton. This is Drusilla Gotherhamshire. Though Nancy and Drusilla may look alike, they have an important difference. Drusilla has a calm and patient parenting style, showering love and affection on her children, Draco and Dolores. Young Sims from around the area constantly wish they were adopted by Drusilla. Nancy, meanwhile, hates children, constantly berating them for their foibles. She hardly even knows why she has them at all. She dislikes them so much. Her children, Natalie and Nelson, are scolded constantly. These differences in maternal affection correspond to the manipulation of maternal separation in Franklin et al. 2010. Behavior was observed in the next generation. First, let's see what happened when Draco and Drusilla were led into an area with a large, open central field. Most Sims hate such fields, as they are afraid of rampaging packs of llamas roaming the area. Sure enough, Draco and Drusilla also avoid going into the center of the open field for some time, venturing into the field only reluctantly. For Natalie and Nelson, however, a different pattern was observed. Natalie is still quite hesitant about entering the open field. Nelson, however, charges into the field, heedless of the danger of lurking llamas. This is a sign of trouble. Nelson, unlike normal rats, does not seem to be able to inhibit his wild and impulsive side, and he therefore rushes into danger without thinking. The next step in replicating Franklin et al. 2010 for Sims is by mating the F1 generation of Sims, that is, the children of Drusilla and Nancy, with wild-type Sims. As a matter of fact, we do have some wild-type Sims on hand. Quite wild, these ones are. It did not take much provocation on their part to mate with the F1 generation and have children. As far as the Heatherton's children go, here is Nelson's child, Nicole, and Natalie's child, Nicholas. For the Gotherhamshires, Draco now has a daughter, Domitia, and Dolores has a son named Darius. Now, we repeat the same field tests to answer the question, how quickly will the F2 Sims run out into the open field, and therefore, to what extent will they show a lack of ability to inhibit their own impulsive actions. Like F2 rats, Domitia and Darius take time to do this, preferring to stay safe on the porch for a time. For the Heathertons, however, the pattern is the reverse of that shown in F1. It is now Nicole who bounds out, heedless of the llama menace, while Nicholas is more reserved. Unfortunately, at this point in the experiment, our Sims busted loose of their prison, and set up a commune in the basement of the psych building, where they established diplomatic relations with the rat commune. However, we suspect that, if the F2 generation had bred with more wild-type Sims, they would have shown similar results to the F3 rats from Franklin et al. 2010. Female Sims would have been less behaviorally inhibited, while male Sims would have been more inhibited, or at least just as inhibited as the control Sims.